The small, rain-soaked town of Willowbrook was the kind of place where everyone knew everyone. Quiet streets lined with cobblestones, cozy cafes where the same faces gathered each morning, and a bookstore that had seen better days. Life was predictable here, almost too predictable, until Liam Sparks returned. Liam had been a wanderer, someone who always chased the horizon but never stayed long enough to call anywhere home. People in Willowbrook whispered about him when they saw him step off the bus on that fateful grey afternoon. He was older now, with a rugged charm and a certain weariness in his eyes. He had returned to take over his late grandfather's bookstore, Sparks and Tales, a once vibrant shop now reduced to a dusty relic of the past. Emma Carter hated rainy days. Not because of the rain itself, but because it always made her classroom full of restless kids even harder to manage. As a schoolteacher, she was used to chaos, but today was something else. When Liam Sparks walked into her classroom, soaked to the bone and carrying a box of donated books, it was as if time stopped. "Hi," he said, flashing a sheepish grin. These are for the school." Before Emma could respond, he tripped over a desk, spilling the books everywhere. The children burst into laughter, and Emma couldn't hold back a smile. "Well," she said, kneeling to help him gather the books, "you certainly know how to make an entrance." Liam chuckled, brushing rainwater off his jacket. "Yeah, unforgettable, right?" Emma didn't know it yet, but this awkward, rain-soaked moment would change everything. From the day of their first meeting, it seemed fate had decided to keep throwing Liam and Emma together. They bumped into each other at the grocery store, the local cafe, and even during her morning jogs. Each time, their conversations grew a little longer, their smiles a little warmer. Emma found herself drawn to the bookstore, under the guise of needing just one more book, and Liam found himself looking forward to her visits. But for all their growing closeness, both carried their own fears. Liam was haunted by the belief that he was destined to fail at anything he tried to build. Emma, rooted in the stability of her life in Willowbrook, worried that Liam would leave as quickly as he'd come. It was a dance of hesitation and longing, with neither quite ready to take the first step. One fateful evening, a violent thunderstorm rolled into Willowbrook. The rain was relentless, and the wind howled like a creature unleashed. Emma was curled up on her couch, reading one of her favorite romance novels, when her phone buzzed. It was a text from her friend Claire. "Have you seen the bookstore? It's bad." Emma dashed out into the storm, umbrella forgotten, and rushed to Sparks and Tales. When she arrived, her heart sank. The storm had torn through one of the front windows, and rain was pouring onto the shelves. Liam was inside, frantically trying to save what he could. He was soaked, his hands trembling as he held a water-damaged book that had once belonged to his grandfather. "I should have known this would happen," he muttered, his voice heavy with defeat. "Everything I touch falls apart." Emma stepped closer, her heart aching for him. "That's not true, Liam," she said softly. "You've brought life back to this place, to this town, to me." Her words seemed to hang in the air, a spark waiting to ignite. Liam looked at her, really looked at her, and for the first time, he allowed himself to believe he was capable of building something that wouldn't crumble. Slowly, he leaned in, and their lips met in a kiss that felt like the eye of the storm, calm, electric, and full of promise. The days that followed the storm were a whirlwind of activity. The town rallied around Liam, showing a support he never expected. Emma was by his side through it all, helping him clean, repair, and rebuild. They worked late into the nights, sharing stories, laughter, and quiet moments that neither wanted to end. For Liam, it was the first time he felt like he belonged somewhere. For Emma, it was the adventure she'd always dreamed of, one that didn't require leaving home. As the bookstore began to take shape again, so did their relationship. They were no longer dancing around their feelings but embracing them fully. Emma helped Liam see the beauty in staying, and Liam reminded Emma that love, like life, could be unpredictable and exhilarating. When the bookstore reopened, it was more than just a grand opening, it was a celebration of second chances, of love, and of the community that had come together to make it happen. The new Sparks and Tails sign gleamed in the sunlight, a symbol of hope and renewal. As the townsfolk cheered, Liam took Emma's hand and whispered, "You were right, you know. Love doesn't just spark, it builds, it grows, it stays." And in that moment, under the glow of the new sign, Emma knew she'd found her happy ending. Or, rather, her happy beginning. Years later, Sparks and Tales became more than just a bookstore, it became a hub for the community, a place where stories were shared, and dreams were nurtured. Liam and Emma, now married, often laughed about the rainy day that brought them together. Their love story was proof that sometimes, life's most beautiful moments come when you least expect them. And in the small town of Willowbrick, the legend of love sparks lived on, inspiring countless others to believe in the magic of love.